What's up, everybody? It's Broken Bones here, and welcome back to another episode here on the KrustyKraft server. Today is episode 14. Yes, it is. And today we're starting things out in the underground utopia because today we're going to be working in here. For those of you that remember, a couple episodes ago, we dug this giant hole with bad blood. We dug this in about a half an hour. We time-lapsed it. And now Bad Blood's on vacation, so we want to go ahead and do a little bit of work on this and see if we can get this completed before he comes back from vacation. We have all the materials, they're right over here in these shulker boxes. If we take a look over here, they should still be here. That was a bunch of bones. There's all of our building blocks, there's all of our glass, and here's all of those materials, and here's all the redstone materials. So that's looking pretty good. And now I have my filming account set up. He's all ready to go. He's going to be doing a third-person time-lapse of us, which is going to be pretty cool, but I don't think we're going to finish this project in today's episode. So we're going to be doing block by block kind of progress updates, and he's going to go ahead and film us anyway. And when we get this project all finished up, I'll go ahead and edit all that together, and I bet that'll make a pretty sick time-lapse. Alright, so to start things off, we laid out our chunk border. We have our chunk border right here, which I'm lighting up so we don't have any mobs on it. And then we want to get started in the back right here. This is going to be the brain circuit that we're going to install right here. That's going to get 2 bits of redstone dust and 2 repeaters like that, and then we get some stuff right here in the front, which is now almost complete. We have a couple of observers that we're going to put in. We're going to put some observers on these sticky pistons right here, just like that. There we are. And then we also need to load this brain circuit up with some items. This is going to keep track of how many stone are made, so we're going to put 5 items in that dropper right there. Then we're going to put 1 item over here just like this. That'll go ahead and complete the brain circuit. So what this circuit essentially does is count. It counts how many times the farm has gone around. In this sense, we're going to be counting how many times the stone generation happens, and that's because the moss can spread 3 blocks in each direction, so plus the moss, so that's a total of 7 blocks. And so here we have a total of 6 blocks inside of our circuit, so it's going to count 6, because on the 7th one we want it to break, and on the 7th one it's going to empty, which is going to retract this piston, because then this dropper will be empty, because this is the one getting powered by this block. So when it does get empty, that observer is going to retract. It's going to go ahead and power this block, which is going to change this block over to this one, which this one will now be full of all the items. And then the power will start to tick this dropper until it empties as well, and the same thing will happen on this side. Coming off of this brain circuit, there's a redstone torch that goes right here, and that goes up to a torch tower, which speaks up to this circuit up here, which is the water flushing circuit. And the way we do that is with a pulse extender. So we're going to have a pulse extender made with a couple of comparators right here and right here, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and bring some redstone dust in here all the way around there. And then because this torch is going to give a 1-tick pulse, we have a 4-tick repeater here, so that way the signal can go all the way around, because comparators use 1 tick of delay, so you need 4 ticks for 4 repeaters or 4 comparators. And then this redstone here, that's going to go down into a repeater right there, and that's going to go into another repeater that goes right there. There's going to be some redstone dust that goes on top of here, and then this is going to be what controls the water flushing circuit. It's going to control these 2 redstone torches, which then control some pistons out here. And now we're placing in the pistons that are ultimately going to be pushing the stone, which is the powerhouse of this whole farm. And now behind our stone piston pushers, we have our on switch, but it's not wired up yet. The on switch is this observer here, which is on top of these sticky pistons. When this goes up, it starts the farm, which is what we want to do. So we need to wire that up off this redstone block here. This is going to have a bunch of glass that goes along the side of our farm, and on the front of it over there where that scaffolding is, there's going to be a lever, so this can be toggled back and forth. So when we go down below, we're going to go ahead and toggle this sticky piston here. That's going to toggle on and off. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and bring that 3 blocks forward, and we actually need to get rid of that stone block. That's a temporary block. So we're going to go ahead and go out like that. We're going to come down by 1 more. We're going to come out by that. And then we're going to come over here by 2 more, just like so. And then we need to go ahead and come on up here, I believe. Let's see here. Yep, we need to go ahead and get some scaffolding. Let's go ahead and bring some scaffolding out this way. Go ahead and come out over here. Yep, that'll work. And then we need to go ahead and place in a couple redstone blocks. We need a redstone block right there. Oop, that's not a redstone block. Let's place that there, and then 2 more right there. That should do it. Let's go ahead and come down off of our scaffolding here, and we'll go ahead and break that. That should do. Alright, I don't know where that other sticky piston went. We'll go down and get that later. Then we're going to come back up here. Let's go ahead and test our circuit here. So now we want to come back up. We want to make sure everything's working properly. And basically what's going to happen is this is going to get pushed forward, this redstone block, so it's no longer going to be on top of that piston, which is going to be simulated by me breaking it just like that. And as you can see, that piston gets pushed, which is what we want, and then these got pushed up. As you can tell down there, our pistons are now extended. And if we put that redstone block back, that'll be the off switch. So then that's in the off position there. So now here's going to be the on switch to the farm. So as you can see, if we go ahead and flick that lever there, that all gets pushed over like that, and that gets retracted. And if we turn that off, that gets extended just like so. So that means that if we flick that, we should see that, yep, that our pistons over here have extended. Those two blocks are up. And then if we go ahead and flick that lever off, whoop, and turn the farm off, we should see that that all goes down, which, yes, it does. Now that the on switch is done, we're working on the stone pushing circuit, which is these repeaters right here. This is going to control the time in which these pistons fire to push the stone across. And in order to wire these ones up, we need to come down below, because these repeaters are going to power this sticky piston. This is going to be in that direction facing this way. And then we're going to go ahead and come up back up on top with an observer. We're going to go ahead and place that observer on that sticky piston right there facing up. As you can see, the arrow is facing up, so the red dot is facing up just like this. And then on top of that one, we're going to go ahead and place some redstone dust, and that redstone dust is going to connect up to all these pistons on top of all these blocks all the way to the end. So now we have the basic workings for a stone generator. These pistons should push anytime that the stone should be done being made. So now we should see that these are getting pushed about every second or so, which that looks pretty good to me. Stone usually takes about a second or two to form. Yeah, I think we did good on that circuit. That circuit works. And now I have my glass platform in. This is going to be where the stone sits, and when it turns into moss, it'll get pushed over and the moss will break, and then this kind of makes sure that the moss doesn't fall down. It gets pushed up, and then we're going to go ahead and waterlog our pistons, because we need water and lava to create stone, and to do that we're going to need an infinite water source. So we're going to go ahead and take a water source there and a water source there, and that really shouldn't flow off because this is a big platform. We're going to go ahead and refill our buckets, and then we've got the task of just kind of putting water in pistons. Exciting, you know? And now we're placing in the final bits of glass that are going to be holding the lava over the water here. So that's going to be our lava basin right here. We need to go ahead and get 4 blocks off the edge. Let's see, that's going to be right here. Lava's going to go right there. We're also going to come 4 blocks off the edge off this side. That should be right here, right? I believe so. That looks correct. Yep. All right, that should flow out and meet each other. That should cover all 14 blocks and turn all that to stone. That's very nice. Man, I feel so in the zone right now. This farm's coming together so quickly, and right now it should work. If we go ahead and flick our switch on, it should go ahead and start creating stone, which it looks good so far. And as you can tell, now we have basically a stone generator, which is what moss farms are. So now that the stone generator is complete, we've got that all done. We're going to need a way to sweep all the items off the top and over the edge, and that's going to be done with a water sweeper, and that's going to be right here. We're going to place in some water right here. That's going to flow down to the edge. These slime blocks here, that's going to lift up, letting out all the water, and to wire that up, we're going to need to come right over here, and in fact, we need to close this up with some glass right there. We're going to take 2 sticky pistons. We're going to come right off these redstone torches, just like that. We're going to go ahead and place in 2 redstone blocks on their faces with 2 more sticky pistons coming down, just like this. And that should wire that up. So now, if we test it here, let's go ahead and turn our farm on. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, after 7 times the stone pulses, this is going to lift up, letting out all the water, and it's going to push everything off the edge, which, as you can see here, if we break a stone block, that should get pushed. There we go. Okay, it's just like a moss would. And then the water would push that off. I'm thinking that should have gone by now. Yeah, that definitely should have gone by now. What's wrong? I knew something was wrong. That's supposed to have an observer on it with a block. That is our stone generation circuit. That observer tells our brain circuit how many times the stone generation has gone around, so that way we can count before our water sweepers need to go. So I did that because I was doing a clip with you guys, and I forgot to do that. So I blame you guys. But now, with all finger pointing aside, let's go ahead and turn our farm on. Let's go ahead and see. This thing should release its water in a couple of turns here. This is going to take a little bit, maybe 10-15 seconds. There we go. Water came. It's going to push the items off the edge just barely long enough for that to get off the edge, and the water quits, which is perfect. And now that we got our water flushers working, we now have our bone mealing circuits in. These bone mealing circuits are going to bone meal that moss, which is going to convert the stone down there all to moss. And to do that, this dropper right here is going to carry the bone meal that we have right here. It's going to carry it through a water stream. We're going to put water in right here, and that's going to carry it all the way to these droppers. And those droppers bring it down to a dispenser, which is right behind that moss block. So now we need to go ahead and put water on both sides. Let's go ahead and finish that up there. There we are. Now we need to wire these guys up. We're going to go ahead and wire these up off these pistons here. So we're going to grab a redstone torch with a sticky piston on the side of that one. And we need our observers. Where's my observers at? There we are. Let's go ahead and get those on here. So we're going to place an observer facing in like this with a block on its face just like that. And then we're going to get 3 repeaters all on 4 ticks. Let's put those in just like that. There we are. Then down here, right next to that redstone, that's where we're going. We're going to place in 2 pieces of glass just like this. We're going to place in a block on the face of that repeater. And then that's going to carry the power over to this repeater, which we have 2 more repeaters on 4 ticks. And that'll carry the energy down to that redstone down there. So let's go ahead and do the same thing on this side. We're going to go ahead and wire all this up. Let's go ahead and grab our redstone torch. We'll grab a piston, a observer just like that, and we'll throw that block in there like so. Go ahead and put 3 repeaters on 4 ticks just like this. Almost there. Alright, and 1 more tick. There we go. Okay, then this one and this one. There we are. And then we need a block on that face just like that. There we go. Okay, that should work now. So if we go ahead and chuck some bone meal in there, that'll go into the dispenser. Let's go ahead and put the rest of the bone meal in our dropper. Let's go ahead and head on down here and turn our farm on, and let's give it a quick test. Let's go ahead and see if this thing works. It's kind of the moment of truth right now. If this thing doesn't work, then I've wasted a bunch of time. But I believe it should work here. And it's going to bone meal after the water flushers go. So as soon as the water flushers go, there we go. As soon as those are finished, I got my scaffolding over there still, but that should be okay. Should do that. And bone meal, yes. It is indeed working. Look at this. This is awesome. Hey, and there goes my scaffolding. It broke. So our moss farm triggered 3 times, and with that, the items that fell down here, I've got too many to get in my inventory. We already have, what is this, almost 3 stacks of moss blocks, plus all this other stuff that won't fit in my inventory. So now this layer of the farm is complete. This is looking pretty good, and what we need to do now is we need to go ahead and do this same exact thing a couple more times, and we're going to stack it up on top of each other all the way up to the ceiling. So now I don't really want to do that all on camera because it's going to be the exact same thing over and over and over. So I figured I'd go ahead and do a first-person time-lapse. Since we have our camera account doing the third-person time-lapse, we'll go ahead and do the first-person time-lapse for today's episode. I'm not sure how much more we're going to get done because we do need to build this up. That's going to take me a little while, but it should be fun. And yeah, I think I also forgot too to tell you guys that I have a tutorial of this on my channel. I'm actually following my own tutorial, and it's going pretty well. It's actually very, very easy and simple. And I'm really glad I made that tutorial because it's working out well for me. Hopefully it works out well for you. And if you guys would like to follow along with that, go ahead and click the link in the top right of the screen right there. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the time lapse.
9, 8, 7, ignition. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Blast off. Blast off.
Oh my goodness, this thing is looking amazing at this point in time. Can you imagine using this furnace array, and before you use that you have to come by this? And what if this farm was on, you'd be watching all the moss flow and all the redstone going around the back? That'd be cool. It'd be so cool. So yeah, this thing, I'm super happy with it. It came out really nice. All the floors are working, and I think that's going to be a good stopping point for today's episode. I know we're running a little short. It's not quite 20 minutes yet, but it's also so far along that I don't really want to start another project and then have that be cut right in half. So I'd rather save that for next episode, because next episode, I don't think we're going to be working on this guy. We're going to be working on another one, but when we do come back to this, we'll be working on the storage system, which is the shulker box loaders up top, and then the actual bone mealing area down below that turns all the moss into bone meal. So, with that being said, next episode, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to be doing. We have a few things that we could do, and I honestly think working on our base is probably the most important thing. We need to get that thing going, and I think we might make a big push for that and then come back to this project. So, who knows? Maybe we'll do that next episode. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it so much. Hope you guys did too. And if you guys did, be sure to smack the like button and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Take it easy, everybody.